What's good, man? What's good? How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. You know me, just been working.
Yeah, man. Been a while. How's life? How's life? It's been what, about a week and a half since we last chitty chat?
Um, I guess so. I just been working.
How's life? You talking about I guess so. How's life been, man?
Man, I've been working.
What that mean?
This whole weekend, some you ain't talked to me. Work seen me every day. Not a single day went by I didn't go in and clock in and had to work.
Same.
So,
I feel you, man. Gotta grind though. Gotta grind.
I've been working.
Yeah, man. It's good to see you though, man. It's good to see you.
Where you been at?
It's been. I can't talk about it on here, but hey, it's been this last. It's been a test. I'm just say that.
Yeah.
A test. But yeah, we back. I actually just had somebody ask me about this in the church about the podcast. Like, hey, y'all got a new episode coming? I say, yeah, man, we supposed to be recording today, right after this.
They've been asking me. They'd be like, they was looking for me this Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about doing a double drop.
A double
Drop. That one that we recorded. But you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about doing a double drop this week to give them something extra since since they ain't getting that last week, give them a double drop. Might have to bless the people with that. But yeah, man, it's been a time, but blessed. I'm here, breathing, upright, and got opportunity ahead of me. Lots of opportunity, man. Lots of blessings, lots of all of that. Yeah, that's all I gotta really say, man. And, anything you want to start off with, as far as talking to the people before we get going?
Oh man, it's February.
It's February.
Black History Month, so I hope, for those that celebrate, they've been black and proud every day.
It's like, boy, a lot of people ain't. We'll get in that. Go ahead.
I hope they've been black and proud every day, man.
Me too.
So shout out to my coloreds. Nah, man, it's been a lot been going on. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, man, a lot has been going on, man. A lot has been going on. But what episode is this? Before we go ahead and get into this, what episode is this?
It's number 8.
It's number 8, boy. We got an 8 pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Got an 8 pretty quickly.
It ain't even been 8 weeks in the year yet.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We got an 8 pretty quickly. Now, granted, we had a head start, but it's been, for the most part, 8 came around the corner. We were almost to that number 10. And, yeah, man, shout out to all the people that's been with us. It's your boy Keevin, man. And as one of your hosts, I really appreciate, the support and people just asking, like, hey, I like what y'all got going on. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And the comments and stuff like that, I'll be seeing them. Stones be seeing them.
Yeah, I'ma holler at you.
Yeah, he be in there chatting with y'all, man. My co-host right here. Introduce yourself. Well, I guess I go. We got Mr. Smith. Scum Muhammad. Mr. True 1562. The neighborhood hero. The most loved. Beloved. Say it with me in the chat. Beloved. The man himself.
Thank you.
I don't think I ever called you Scum Muhammad on this thing either.
Nah, you just said it.
But
Yeah,
that's definitely what I call you more than everything else.
you definitely threw it out there. So everybody, y'all know who it is, man. Y'all boy, Mr. Smith, tuned in as always, man. You know, I'm free off work for the time being today. It's Super Bowl Sunday. By the time y'all see it, y'all know who the winner is. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all now, though. Kansas City bringing it home. So,
Do you want Kansas City to bring it home?
yeah, heck yeah. I need them to. I need Mahomes the GOAT, man.
See that's the issue right there. That's the issue. Y'all motherfuckers talking about Mahomes the GOAT and stuff. The GOAT beat him. What are we talking about?
He beat the GOAT too.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
When?
He beat them in the AFC Championship.
No, the GOAT beat him in the AFC Championship.
And he beat him in a Super Bowl.
No, he didn't. The GOAT beat him in the Super Bowl.
Man, he beat Brady.
No, he didn't.
I'm pretty sure when he was on the Pats, he beat Brady.
Hey, you gonna have to show me. Brady, when he went. Brady, let me think. When he was on the Pats. Yeah, Brady beat him when he was on the Pats. And then Brady followed it up and beat him in the Super Bowl when he went to the Bucs. What are we talking about? But that don't even matter. Still, even if Mahomes, he ain't the GOAT. He lost to the GOAT in the championship. What are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about?
So, Eli Manning the GOAT?
No.
He done lost to Eli Manning.
But Eli Manning also ain't got 5 more of them things on top of it.
I'm just saying.
He ain't got 5 more of them things on top of it.
So if Mahomes get more rings, he the GOAT then.
For sure. And it's not just about the ring. It's the fact that he beat him direct. Like, no smoke was ducked. Met up. Hey, it's still my league. But until I leave, it's still my league. You go sit down to it. He was 40. You telling me, young whippersnapper? What you do when the little kids come around and they talking all that they talking all that stuff, and then they wanna test you? What you do?
Really, the ending of his career was really the best phase of his career.
You about to piss me off.
From about 35.
For any of y'all here, I'm not even a Brady fan, man. I'm a Steelers fan.
The way he went out. He went out on top.
Wow, that's the best part of his career.
Yeah, that's where he was winning. It couldn't get no better than Brady.
There hasn't been nobody better than Brady.
I don't know. There's some not all throughout Brady's career. There's some QBs that could say they was better than Brady
for a time being.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about better overall player. If he's this good when he was 20, whatever, and still this good at 40, what are we talking about? Just because you had one good season at when you was 27 years old and then you washed out, okay, you had a good season. Goodbye.
That's not how. Talking about? That's not how a lot of them.
What quarterbacks was better? What quarterbacks was better than Brady? Then you tell me. Let's talk. We gonna chat today. What quarterbacks was better than Brady?
You talking about just over his whole career?
You just made a statement that there was quarterbacks that was better than Brady. What quarterbacks was better than Brady?
Drew Brees.
You smoking?
Drew Brees.
You is smoking.
What I'm smoking about,
bro? Only reason Drew Brees even got a Super Bowl is because of Katrina.
No.
That's a fact. Everybody knows that. That's not a fact. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
That's not a fact.
That everybody knows that.
He played those extra years to chase Drew Brees records. Like, Drew Brees owned the quarterback book.
Everybody assumed, everybody knew Brady was better than Drew Brees without the records. Ron Brady did not need them records to prove that. Nobody has ever said Drew Brees was a better quarterback than Tom Brady.
That's not true.
Besides delusional New Orleans Saints fans.
Not true.
Delusional.
Not true. False.
Delusional. And we need to talk about your boy Alvin Kamara He had on the daggone, what was it, Corsage or what? What did he had on the? Yeah, you're talking about your boy Alvin Kamara.
What you talking about him for? Don't
You
make
didn't
me
see
have
what
to
he was
get on
wearing?
your work.
Hey, we gonna leave it there for now. But
And even if these people football players, I don't give a fuck what they wear off the field. They put on them jersey, shoulder pads, and helmet. They go out there and score 6 touchdowns in the game. That's
you
all
need
I
them to
care
do more of that.
That's
what you
all I
need them to
care
do more
about.
of.
That's
That's
all
what
I
you need
care
them to do
about.
more of. That's what you need them to do more of. You
That's
need to do
all I-
more of that.
That's all I care
Yeah,
about.
y'all might win some games.
That's all I
Y'all
care
start off
about.
the game 2 wins.
Don't worry about us. Don't worry about us. Y'all get the 10.
I'm not.
Y'all get
I'm
the
not.
10 wins
I'm
and
not.
just stop winning every year.
You're right.
What
You're
y'all
right.
do? Regular
Right.
season
When's the last time y'all
merchants.
won 10?
Regular season
When's
merchants.
the last time y'all won 10? When's the last time y'all was in the
Y'all
playoffs?
just 4 years ago.
Well, when y'all had a losing season,
4 years ago, we
a
was in
losing
the playoffs.
record. When I had a losing record,
Did somebody get in the playoffs? Or losing
did y'all
record
have a
every year?
losing record and get in the playoffs? Yes or no?
No, we was 9-8. You remember that because you actually bet me. We had the same record for like 3 years in a row, 9-8. You remember you put money on it?
We
'cause
did
you,
not have the same record for 3 years in a row.
We did. Yeah, we
Well,
did.
That
We
was
finished
last year. I bet you. That was not 4 years ago.
We had the same record last year that we had that year, so that's what I'm saying. Because you bet we wouldn't win more than 8 games.
Let me fact check that. How about that?
You bet that we wouldn't win more than 8 games. Guess what we
New
did?
Orleans Saints record. Just look it up. We're gonna look it up. That's all we're gonna do. We ain't gotta go back and forth about it. 2024, 5-12. That is nasty. That is some nasty work. 5-12? 5-12. That is nasty work. Then y'all was 9-8. Then you went 7-10. Then you went which year? Yeah, you went 7-10. Then you went 9-8. Then y'all ain't even make the playoffs. Did y'all make the playoffs? Y'all ain't even make the playoffs when y'all went 9-8.
That wasn't even the year you talking about. It wasn't 4 years ago.
And then you went 12-4, 13, 11, then 7-9, 7-9, 7-9. 7-9, 7-9, 7-9, 7-9, 7-9, 7-9. Well, y'all had so many daggone losing seasons, bro. Get out of here, dog. Anyway, we ain't talking about Saints. We ain't talking about Saints. So you got the Chiefs. You want to put. Well, I don't like putting the wages or even just like a friendly bet. I don't like doing that with other people's team. That ain't my thing.
So why you ask then?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. But it's not even. It ain't my team, so I ain't. I don't really care. I don't care enough. I did say I was going to go for the Eagles though, but if the Eagles lose, I am never going for another person's team. I don't ever go for other people's team, but I said I want the Eagles. You know, Saquon, that boy, they ain't let that boy get that record, and they just, you know.
So Saquon deserved it more than D-Hop.
Yeah.
Why?
Does D-Hop deserve it?
D-Hop. First off, D-Hop was done wrong. The league did D-Hop wrong. They had D-Hop out the league 2 years ago.
Okay.
D-Hop was done wrong. He deserved a Super Bowl. Premier
Why does he
talent.
deserve one?
Premier talent.
Ain't Saquon a premier talent?
But he young. He can do this again. He in the prime of his
I
career.
ain't trying to hear none of that.
D-Hop in his
I ain't trying to hear
prime
none of that.
was
I ain't
being
asked
wasted
you
in
none of
Houston.
that. I ain't asked you none of that. I asked you, is he a premier talent?
Answer.
Yes. That's it. You ain't got to tell me about how old and young or young he is. That ain't got nothing to do with what I'm saying. That man's a premier talent that they was getting done dirty in New York. They shipped them off.
How they do him dirty in New York?
Shipped them off. They ain't getting the man his money.
A bunch of people weren't paying running backs.
And you see where they at. You see where they at. Right or wrong?
I don't think the Giants probably. I'm gonna be real. I think even if they had Saquon, they would be in the same position. That's just me
Yeah,
personally.
because they decided to pay a quarterback that ain't even on the roster no more.
So hey, so I feel
Ain't
like
even on the roster no more.
I feel like paying him in that position was gonna be a waste for their organization. That's all
But
I'm
you
saying.
let him walk out the door.
I mean, yeah,
That's a smart move.
it's a business move.
No, that's dumb. That is dumb. You pay the man and trade him. You got nothing back for him. A premier talent.
They didn't have the money to pay both of them though.
Don't pay the quarterback that you're gonna get rid of. What that's what I'm saying. Don't pay him. You pay him, and you can get something back. You can't give nothing back for Daniel Jones. Nothing. Nothing worth anything. So what we talking about?
Yeah, but he wasn't really done dirty though. I ain't gonna lie. Like just because they wouldn't pay him, he would. They let him go and find somebody that would. Like what? I mean, what more you want? Yeah, like they made him. They franchise tagged him and all this and that. Like, they let him go. They let him choose. He got to choose to go to Philly and get paid. That's all he can ask for, right?
Sure.
That's all he can ask for, man. He can't say he was traded or nothing, man.
Hey, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's move on, man. Let's move on, man. What else you got on your mind, man? What you got on your mind? You saying there was some stuff going on. What's going on? I don't know what's going on. What's going on?
There's a lot going on in the country right now, man. It's a lot of tension.
In the USA?
Yeah.
Oh, tell me.
A lot of tension.
Tension? Oh, that's always there.
It's just
You can
chaos.
tell me every night, can't you?
We got a lot of tension with some other countries, actually. Like that's which isn't new, but the countries we got tension with is kind of new.
You think
Like,
so?
In particular, countries like Canada, yeah, absolutely. Canada is
Do
one
you
of them.
think it's real tension though? Like I don't think nothing's gonna happen about
I'm gonna say it's tension. Not that we're on the brink of war, but it definitely
I don't
is
think we ever
damaging.
going to war.
I think it's damaging the relationship.
No.
Yeah. At
The
least
next president ain't gonna be.
I was gonna
there,
say at
and
least
it's gonna
while
be
this.
right over it.
I was gonna say at
That
least
ain't
while this
damaging.
president in.
That
But
ain't-
this president got
then-
4 years. He got 4 years.
Even if Trump tomorrow says, "All right, we're gonna undo whatever we was doing," the relationship right back together. They're gonna be kissing and hugging on TV. I don't think it has nothing to do with the relationship. I think they playing real money moves because these countries. You talk about businesses and what businesses be doing about money moves. Countries, they money. If you just change a country's GDP by a couple percentage points, you looking at billions of dollars. So of course they gon' we got to get on TV and say what we supposed to say. Got to. Now, is there maybe some individuals that might maybe feel some type of way? Sure, but for the most part, I don't think it's any real tension or anything between U.S. and Canada. I think it's just, hey, this is where we're at right now at the moment, and just like because I actually saw the Canada, I think it was a prime minister or something like that. He was saying the stuff with the tariffs and blase. But he was still saying like, hey, we need to work this out. Like, so it ain't like it's like with some other countries that we can talk about. Yeah, it's some real but that's been there.
But
That ain't nothing.
Canada is a peaceful country. That's why I'm saying it's not like it's tension where we on the brink of war.
They don't want that though.
That's not them, but it's definitely like they causing problems with Canada, our neighbor. Both our neighbors, but I mean, we don't really be worried about Mexico. I ain't gonna lie, like it's a little different with them. I feel like we always done them kind of.
All of South America.
Yeah.
Honestly, me personally, I ain't. The problem with the moves is how quickly it's happening. Just to make these amount of changes this fast, is tough because then you get all the hoopla on the TV, which Trump does the hoopla himself. So it's if you think he's not gonna do it, hey, get ready for these 4 years. But all the hoopla on the TV gets to happen because it brings so much attention to it. But a lot of these certain moves be happening anyway. Like it just hasn't happened recently, so people aren't used to it. But if you go look through our history, there's times where we've done certain moves, and we ain't always been friendly with Canada, and definitely not in South America and
Definitely
some of these
not.
other countries that we're
Definitely
talking
not.
about. But the way that it's happening, like overnight, that's more so. And then the president getting on and saying all this different stuff, like that is more so the issue than what's happening, and it's going to hit everybody really, really hard because of how fast it's happening. Like it's going to hit everybody. You know, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually, money's going to have to come from somewhere.
What you think about Canada becoming the 51st state?
It already is.
Hell, it's not.
You don't think it is?
No.
What would be different? What would prior to right
For
now,
us or them? I think a lot would be different for them.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Actually, I don't know. What would be different?
Like they have universal free health care over there. That would be a major difference.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's big. That's big. That's gonna be big, Keith. That's gonna be big.
But they don't have to give that up necessarily.
I don't know.
There's states that we like Alaska. They get checks. Every state don't get a check.
Yeah, but also Alaska get checks for a specific reason though. Like
And they could in
I don't know.
This is all
It's hypothetical, very.
But in them joining the U.S., let's say they join the U.S., they could write in, hey, we're going to keep universal health care if you are born in this part of the whatever. You feel me? I think that could be done.
I mean, I'm not saying it can't be done, but as you said, I think that's very hypothetical. Very hypothetical.
I mean, this whole situation is hypothetical. Like Canada being a 51st state is very hypothetical.
I mean, it's been a topic of conversation.
I think outside of like, obviously, you can say that universal health care, like, yes, that would be a big impact on people's lives. But outside of that, like, we had the trade thing with them, so like, it wasn't like the goods wasn't getting passed back and forth. It's not like it was harder to get over there than to come over here, so that would be slightly different. People would be able to move freely in Canada more, and they will get more rights too. They will get more rights as far as like freedoms that they don't have over there. They would get because of our Constitution and stuff. So yeah, it would be some changes on both sides, but well, more so them, like, cause they're joining us, like, so obviously they would be the one that makes more changes. But for the most part, like, it wasn't like goods wasn't coming back and forth anyway. Like, goods was coming back and forth, and that's the biggest thing, like, about being a state, like, and being able to cross state lines. Because every state you go to is different rules anyway, like, or different laws. So,
One, I think, the people of Canada, like,
I just don't think there's no benefit in it either. But go ahead.
They don't want. I mean, as far as for the U.S., that's land. Like, yeah, I mean,
That's all it is. It's land.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
What else? And it's not like we can't use that land. Like,
yeah, it just gives us major control over North America. We already got majority control.
There is no other, like, them joining Canada. There is nothing that they really couldn't do that they aren't already doing. Like, they already do military practices over there. Like most of that land is like frozen tundra, like, for majority of the year. So it ain't like you just got this land that is so agricultural heavy and like brings a bunch of resources in. Unless they got like some oil or something over there, then that might be. But we got more oil than them. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't see there's a ton of benefit outside of just the land itself. Like,
I mean, we get stronger as a nation, man. There's gonna be more money.
Based on what?
It's gonna be more money. Like you say,
there's
we
more
get
people to take care of too.
Yeah, but I mean, they've already been taken care of. It's not like if you change a whole lot, those people's already been taken care of. You know, they don't really go through the same things we do over here. But that goes back to my point.
I can't agree with that.
I don't think you have them. I don't think they become a state if they couldn't be taken care of. You know, I feel like that's discussed and thought out way before paperwork is signed and they become the 51st state. Because I mean, that goes back to the universal health care. I just said to you, like, if them folks were not in agreement of that, the majority not in agreement, there's no way they would come up.
Do you think the people chose to give them universal health care, or the government chose to give them universal health care?
I think the people voice their opinions, and the representatives. I think the representatives of the people, supported those things.
So you think they just over there all glorious?
Glorious? I think the people of Canada are happy in Canada. I say it like that.
Even with all those problems that they was having, like over the last couple of years.
I mean, what country don't have problems? We in America.
I'm just saying.
People
talk about these other countries like they're so happy, but then you hear about like they got issues over there as well.
They got issues.
People that is not happy.
And that's everywhere.
That's why there's people from Canada that move to the United States.
But there's also people from the United States who move to Canada.
Not as many. You can
really
go and look up the stats.
It happens.
But there's stats to it. Like, it's not that it doesn't happen. Yes, there's people that leave the United States that go to Canada. But there's more people that leave these other countries, any country that you want to talk about. There's more than likely, there's more people that come from those countries and come here than vice versa. And that's statistics. That's not opinion. That's not nothing. Hey, there's this many people that come from Canada to the U.S. and this many people that come from U.S. to Canada. Like, and there's a reason for these things. So we can sit and say, oh, they love this universal health care. There's a lot of places that got universal health care that they leave.
A lot of places.
Yeah, like in Europe and stuff. Like, there's places that have universal health care. Now, depending on where you is, the healthcare may not be as good, but there's universal healthcare. Because the thing with universal healthcare, the government gets to dictate that. It's not like, oh, you get the top of the line services whenever you want, whatever you want. Yes, you get healthcare, but it's part of your taxes or whatever. And the government dictates what goes inside of that universal healthcare. So it ain't like that you just get universal healthcare and anything that you can. It's just all sweet. No, like they had them talks about like there was. I don't know how often this happens. So I'm not even gonna sit here and like try to use it as a baseline. But it was talking about, I think it was like in France or a country around France or something, and like the child needed some services, but because they was a citizen of a certain country. It was either France wanted to take them in, or it was a person that was a citizen of France. Anyways, the other country was going to take the child and perform whatever the surgeries or whatever that needed to be done. But the home country was like, no, we have our own healthcare system, and they had universal healthcare, and we're not providing that based on whatever their bylaws was on that situation. And that happens. Now, that's the extreme, and I don't want to use that as a baseline, but anything can happen. You may need, like a ventilator, you may need something like that, and they would say, hey, you already hear about things of what doctors and stuff be doing when you got the donor thing on your ID or whatever. So imagine if they got the control to say, hey, not only you got the donor thing up there, but we also got universal healthcare, which means we get to control and dictate what services get paid for and stuff. So yeah, we gonna go ahead and move you on because we don't think you were whatever their reasons are. So that's just my thing with like I think there should be a baseline universal healthcare, but like just universal healthcare in general, like I don't know, like it already be shading things in the medical industry. If we give them more control over, I don't trust the government with anything. First off, I say, hey, everybody, listen to this. Take care of your body, and yeah, take care of your body. That's all I can tell you. Do the research, find out what works for you, take care of your body, so you don't have to go through a lot of these things. God willing, but I don't want to give the government more power over my life and dictate what I can and can't have services to. That's just my opinion on it, but I don't think the Canada will ever be a 51st state anyway. I don't think there's enough benefit. Not enough benefit.
I agree. I mean, I just don't think they want to.
But it's not about it. Gaining states and losing states ain't about what the people necessarily want to do. I don't think that's that conversation. Yeah, I don't think that's about what people want to do. I think that's one of them conversations that get had and it closed off area with a few people, and they figure out how to roll it out to the people, then asking the people what they want to do. Because that's like a decade move. That's like over the next 10 years, we going to be boom, 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 boom. Like the thing with, now this is one country versus a smaller country, like the thing with China and Taiwan. They've been talking about China has been getting people within the government of Taiwan to start putting more Chinese like language in, not language as in just Mandarin and stuff, just like making people using language like what would be Chinese or Thai, the people of Taiwan to think of themselves as like a person of China, like under their republic and stuff. So like that's not a game that will be played over 1 year. That's a game that's played over a decade or two, like where they're slowly implementing little things over and over. Canada starts talking about, oh yeah, we're just, we're part of the U.S. Boom, 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 and then next thing you know, they're like, oh yeah, we're just going to join forces, and that's how they will sell it. They're not going to just overrule them and just take over China, like or not over China, but over Canada. It's going to be a slow grind of let's get the kids to start to believe that they're part of the U.S. And then when they're 20, 30, their kids are going to believe that now we got majority of the population believing that it's not so bad to be part of the U.S. Like, and that's how they would do it, not just a mass takeover in 1 year or 4 years. It's way easier to get somebody to believe in something than it is to just take them over. At least in that instance.
I mean, that's a logical way of thinking. It don't always play out like that. In American history, it definitely hasn't always played out like that.
Yeah, but it's times is different right now.
Yeah. America, I'm gonna say it's different, but we still have our foundational core values at heart. Absolutely,
for sure. But I don't see us going on a mass war to take over a country. Like the countries that we could do that to, we just gonna buy them out in some way or shape or form. Either we buy the government which we have done many times, bought the government and put people in place that believes whatever we believe, and we get them, or they just make up some reason on why they got to go to war with them. But they're not going to war with Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that's the only logical way I could see. All right, they trying to get them. Who knows? What else you got, man? What else you got? Or what other countries? What other countries you want to talk about?
Mexico is another one.
We got beef with a lot, man. We got beef with a lot.
Canada and Mexico, I mean, they both our neighbors. They was mad.
Yeah. I feel like we've been beefing with Mexico for a couple of years now, though.
I mean,
a while now.
That's why I said it's different with Canada and Mexico, because I feel like we really bully Mexico. Like, our southern states were Mexican. Like,
yeah, we bully Mexico in a way, but it's more so like the cartel get away with a lot. Like the cartel be running Smith, boy. If you really deal deep, the cartel is doing it. Hey, yeah, but yeah, man. What you think?
I don't necessarily see Mexico as a problem. Like, I didn't see Canada as a problem, but it's just I feel like Canada is an ally for us, you know. Like, they a peaceful country. We'll never really have no issues with them, and they're like a solid neighbor. Mexico, like you said, I mean, the government is corrupt. Like, they have it's not Canada. Like, it's not Canada. It's completely different. So I definitely think it's different with them, which is why, like, we have to act the way we do, and like we are more forceful on them than really we gotta be, but definitely than we are with Canada. Like,
I don't know. I think the thing with Mexico is more so that they allow other countries to come in. Like, so they allow China to come in and build infrastructure and start selling goods, so they don't get, because there was already tariffs on China, if I'm not mistaken. It just got raised, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what they was doing, or at least this is what I've seen before, because I've seen some stuff on this before, was China would send goods to Mexico, and as long as they were altered in some way, shape, or form, they could then go over to U.S. and say made in Mexico, but it's really made in China, and they just altered something, and now they avoid the tariff. So that was a lot of stuff of what they were doing, and it's some other countries that was doing that to avoid tariffs from the United States. So, like I said, a lot of this is just a money thing. Like the U.S. obviously knew that, and Mexico knew that. Mexico was getting paid from places like China or India or wherever, and boom, and it was like, hey, y'all come here, build infrastructure, build these roads, do these things, and you can come and ship your stuff through Mexico and avoid these tariffs. And yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be real. There's a lot going on with a lot of different countries. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I feel like one thing with one specific country, especially like in regards to China, because I mean, recently, like literally just the last 48 hours, I think the U.S. and Japan just had an agreement regarding oil production and like how like the trade and production of oil will be, I guess, manufactured and like produced. It just happened. So there's a press conference with Trump, and I believe Japan's, you know, they don't have a president. What do they have? You know, the leader of their country, they just They just had a press conference discussing answer questions from the media. Um, but that's a new deal that when we get some more information about that, we can dive deeper into it. But
Well, so just if we was giving them oil, or they were getting oil, or we were getting oil from them.
we was giving them oil. So some agreement was reached as far as how things were going, but like I said, no details. Like it just happened, so the details ain't really. Got to look into it, get a little bit more information. We could dive deeper into it. But that's enough on the international affairs. Like he's been made some moves here on the forefront. That I mean they do. They make a difference. I ain't gonna say they don't, but there's also some that I feel like aren't necessarily top priority issues that we got to be dealing with.
Talk about it.
So, for example, he signed the executive order so transgender individuals, the men who became women,
Yeah, man, we know. Let's go.
cannot participate in women's sports.
I agree with that.
I think I don't know. We said it here, but we definitely had a conversation before where I said they should have their own league. I'm telling you.
And they can do that still. But like he didn't sign an executive order where they can't do that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that regardless of what whatever, I don't think they should be playing with people that was born a woman. Like, regardless of what you think you is, hey, tough luck. Go play with people that is the same as you.
Yeah.
That's what we all do. We play. I gotta go play with men. Like,
yeah,
that's what the rest of us got to do.
That is facts. Facts. I'll be real. There hasn't been a lot of uproar about that. Like, as far as like kickback.
There's not enough people to even. Because the minority can be very, very loud, but that's what most people are like, bro. Like, ain't even, I don't know. Let's move on. Let's keep going. Like, because there ain't even nothing to waste too much time on.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few that he's signing these executive orders.
I really ain't heard about like most of them. So like, let me know. Like,
so he just signed one. Going back to plastic straws. The Biden administration, they were pushing for paper straws. Mm-hmm. And I guess he signed an executive order, canceling that, reversing that.
That's actually interesting because I was watching something. This was a while ago, but it was talking about like how we used to get a lot of stuff in glass, and then it was like a lot of stuff in paper, and then there was a lot of stuff in plastic, and then it's like this thing going back to paper, and like it's so like this has been a cycle thing, like where because there's a lot more stuff that like now they say, oh, the water, like you need to get water out of glass bottles now, like and drinks out of glass bottles because that's the best way because aluminum does this and plastic does that and blase.
Yeah.
So this has been a cycle thing. Like I know he's doing the executive orders thing, but like I say with a lot of this stuff, man, if you look at history, it's been a cycle of a lot of this stuff that's be going on. Now he be tripping because the stuff that he be saying and the way he be saying it, and he just does some unnecessary stuff. But in general, a lot of this stuff has been in a cycle. Like it's been a reoccurring thing.
Yeah, definitely, man. I just, like I said, things going on that's not necessarily important. Like I do think the paper straws are really more environmental friendly, but he's saying they don't work. I just had a paper straw yesterday. Actually, it worked. I ain't gonna lie.
I think, because a lot of this stuff I don't think is just Trump. Like I don't think Trump cares about paper or plastic straws. I think there's somebody that's paying.
Oh yeah.
and saying, hey, we want more plastic straws because it's either easier to make, or we got the materials, or there's something else that's going on that's bringing up the straws.
For sure.
I don't think it's that.
Yeah.
I think there's somebody that makes straws that is saying, "Hey, we need this, this, and this," or it said that we need this and this, and I give you such and such, or I help you get in whatever situation. Like, yeah, like I may be completely wrong on this. I may be completely wrong on this, but I don't think Trump cares about straws. Like,
Could very well be the truth.
yeah, I don't think that's something that he's just. And this is the problem with a lot of these politics, man. It's too much money in politics. Like, it's too many people buying these politicians.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason that we talked about it before. When Trump got inaugurated, all the daggone social media CEOs was standing right there, and Jeff Bezos. Like, there's a reason they was all up there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and some of them was spending money on both sides.
Yeah, because they wouldn't come out on top regardless.
Regardless, they was gonna be standing right there. Besides the Elon Musk, who was just Trump guy, the rest of them was either way. They was probably gonna be up there standing there next to whoever was president. Like, so, hey,
Yeah.
just pay attention, man. Follow the money trail. That's what I tell people, man. Follow the money trail. It'll lead you to promised land.
Yeah. He made an executive order about removing Black History Month and
They've been trying to do that.
and Pride Month. But Trump, he kind of backtracked. He didn't remove the executive order, but he said Black History Month will still be recognized as traditionally. But it's like in government buildings and stuff like that, like military and stuff, they don't recognize Black History Month. But he still said February is going to be recognized. But he signed that executive order in Pride Month. Yeah, he did Pride Month too. I ain't hear no, they still gonna recognize Pride Month for Pride. Yeah, I did not hear that. I think when he signed that, he was done with that one.
Yeah, that one, hey, go ahead and put that one. What they eliminate that?
Yeah,
put it in the drawer.
Yeah, he did not. He was not
he
playing
was done
with
that one. He wasn't trying to hear that no more.
So you know,
I don't know if like I'm sure like there's validity to all right, this is done, but I don't know if the thing is, man, with presidency, this stuff can be so fickle in the sense of they do one thing and then they do the total opposite. Like from Trump's first thing, like look at the border stuff. Like Trump did executive orders and he was doing stuff at the border and put stuff into law. And then what did Biden and them do? Executive orders to get rid of some of this stuff. like so that's why like that's the problem with that. Now as far as like Black History Month and stuff, yeah, it was dumb, but
so here's some controversy or like a debate that like stemmed from it, right?
They've been trying to do that for years though. Like they've been trying to. If you look in some states, they was trying to get rid of talking about slavery. Like this was a couple years ago.
For sure.
Yeah,
Especially Florida. Especially Florida.
Yeah, they've been talking about this for a while. Like been trying to wiggle out. Like, hey, we ain't watching Roots no more. We ain't teaching you about this, and this no more. Like they've been trying to do that. But go ahead. What you saying?
So you know, an interesting, I guess, debate that we had from this was, you know, somebody made the comment that Black history should be taught at home the same way, like, you know, LGBTQ rights and history should as well. Like, but, you know, my response is those are not even realistically, like, even on the same level of, like Black history is American history. Like, you can't talk about America without Black history. You know, and a lot of times Black history isn't even told. Because what you see in the books and stuff is very like censored and it's whitewashed. You know,
Yeah.
the truth. The truth you really get from the stories that's passed down from generations, like people who live to really experience and go through these things, like being able to tell the truth about the stories. That's real Black history. Like a lot of what's just like published and stuff like that, especially in these tech books and stuff. It's very generalized and it doesn't really give a whole lot of context, and it's definitely something that had to go through approval from a higher up to be like, okay, you can put this in.
Yeah. There are, and this is what I would say, like, because I believe we had a conversation about this before, but it wasn't on this podcast at all. But me and you had, and I think some other people had a conversation about this. One, Black History Month itself, I don't even think it gets done its justice. I think people use it as an excuse to do some black stuff. We was just talking about being black and proud, like to do some black stuff in the month of February instead of just appreciating and talking about and understanding the history of what black people have done in this country.
And elaborate what you mean by black stuff. Elaborate what you was
Just
saying.
anything, like we see clowns be dressing up with the African stuff, like that never do it before, like, or never will do it again outside of this month. Like they'll be dressed up in the gowns or dressed up in a certain way, which I'm fine with that. Like one of my sisters be wearing a lot of that stuff, but she doesn't wear it just in Black History Month. Like it's not just a thing like, oh, I'm going to do this part of the culture, like this aspect of the culture here. Like Kendrick was just talking on I think it was the Apple Music. They were doing like just talking to the people that are going to be part of like the halftime show and part of the whole Super Bowl today. And he was talking about, he was like, hey man, like this is like, I can't help, like I'm black, like so the way I move and do things and the stuff I talk about, like it's black, and he doesn't need to do that just in the month of February. He does it year round. You feel me? Like anytime you talk and you see the stuff that he does, like it's black. Like you feel me? Like and that's what it is. Beyonce's halftime show, Christmas Day, nothing but black people out there. You feel me? Like and I'm not saying, like, obviously most people aren't doing halftime shows and stuff like that, but people will go out their way to try to do things that they seem as part of the culture or whatever the case may be, just in the month of February versus doing it year round or having implements of it year round, being black and proud year round. Like that's something that they shouldn't have to tell you, hey, this is the way to do that for you to be doing that type of stuff. You feel me? And that's all I mean from that standpoint. Like we can't just, even with the Black History thing, we should be doing more. We should be teaching more. Like and what I was gonna go to is yeah, there are books that a lot of books are whitewashed and stuff, but there are books out there that people need to be reading and taking in some of this information so you can teach the youth, so you can tell, hey, this was some of the stuff that was happening. Like you can't get all your information from a movie or what they told you in the school textbooks. Like you gotta go out and seek some more information and talk to older people, learn about some of these things and traditions and stuff, and implement in your life, and just tell, hey, so you might not want to do it in your life, but there might be somebody else that didn't even know about it, and now you can spread that awareness, and it shouldn't have to take you to the month of February to do it. Like you should be spreading that awareness in May, in April, in September, in December. Like you should be doing that anytime. Shoot, when you came to my you was in my room, like, and the book on the shelf, like it was a book by a black woman talking about black people messing up. I didn't get that book in the month of February because I want to read something from Black. No, like that's something that's in me. You feel me? And regardless of what some president or whoever, a state governor or whatever, hey, this is part of, like, this is me, and this is what it is, and that's what it's gonna be until I leave this earth, and that's really where I stand on that. But also, we gotta, and it's the same thing we've had a conversation about. We gotta come together. All right, boom. You don't want people to do this happen. Let this thing happen. We gotta get some control by coming together and saying, all right, you can't take this out of our schools. There's plenty of black people in Florida. They should be coming together, in every single school board, every single person, like, hey, y'all ain't gonna keep getting our vote, or we're not even gonna vote if you are willing to back this stuff about getting rid of talking about slavery and all this type of stuff in our schools. You seen what the white people was doing when they was trying to make the kids learn about the LGBT stuff in the daggone schools? They was up there rioting.
Let's be very clear. White people have,
and it wasn't just white people. It was Arabs and like middle.
But also that's also my point. Like, because that goes back to the core foundations of this country, you know. And I mean, that is still, LGBTQ is still relatively new in history, where it's really now in a position, really just starting to be accepted, and it's not even fully accepted everywhere. It's just able to be accepted in the point where people can have conversations about it. They can come out and present themselves as that, you know. But they still gonna face some backlash and stuff. But it's like, at least before, if they would have done that, they would have been hung, killed, you know, something crazy. They'd have done some stuff like that.
My whole thing with that, just using that as an example, was they was willing to go up to the schools and say, no, y'all not doing this. And someone was like, no, y'all not doing this. And if y'all decide to go through with this, I'm taking my kids out of the school. Because what happens when you take your kids out of the school? They don't get none of that money. Now, obviously, everybody can't do that because everybody can't homeschool or put them in some private school or whatever. But you got to be able to go up to the school board and do that. We got to get more of our people, like both of our grandparents, your grandpa, she was on the school board. Like we gotta be able to really, like the preacher was saying today, I don't know if you heard it, but you gotta be able to walk that talk. You gotta be able to walk that talk. Like, so people getting up in arms and stuff, okay, this is even more of a reason for you to unite, come together. Let's figure out how we can do this. How can we make this situation where we ain't gotta go through another 4 years like this? If this is, because some people are talking like this is the absolute, and it may be the worst 4 years of your life. It may be, but you got to go through it regardless. So you better get prepared, so the next 4 years ain't like this one. Don't complain about this 4 years and say, oh, he's the absolute worst thing and he's the devil and all this. And then in the next 4 years, you ain't unite, you ain't got a group of people, you ain't prepared, you ain't set yourself up to where the next 4 years you can succeed in whatever way that looks like. Maybe it's just getting the mayor out of your city because the mayor is doing some bullshit. Maybe it's the governor. Maybe it's the House of Representatives. Maybe it's whatever it is, like, or maybe it's just getting more involved in your community. Like, but don't continue sitting here talking about, oh, this, and this is the absolute worst thing ever, whatever, and then you still ain't did nothing to change it. That's my problem. That's my problem. That's why I don't like, with most people, like, I avoid, like, the Trump conversations with most people, is because y'all gonna be saying the same thing 4 years from now or 2 years from now. It's like, you ain't did nothing different.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing different. Nothing has changed at all. It's like the people that say they gonna lose weight. You see them 2 years later, they still talking about my New Year's resolution is to lose weight. It's like, all right, dude, like don't tell me nothing about that. Man. Don't tell me nothing about that until you go and do that. I ain't trying to hear. And that's where I'm at with it. Like I ain't trying to hear a lot of this stuff. Like I understand you, and I'm on your side with like, or I'm saying you as in people. Like I'm on your side with a lot of this stuff. But I'm not about to sit here and give you the energy and time of the day of me wasting time talking about what somebody is or isn't. Me and you sitting here talking about this ain't gonna change nothing about him signing executive orders. His pen worked.
Yeah, absolutely.
It works. So you're gonna have to ride through this one. Now, are we gonna sit here and complain about it, or are we gonna be like, all right, we about to call a friend to call a friend to call a friend, and let's make something happen. How many people can we get together by the end of the month? In 6 months, how many people can we get together to say, hey, we gonna call our House of Representative X, Y, and Z? How many people can we get together to do X, Y, and Z? What effect can we have in our community? What can we teach our children so when they come up, they ain't sitting around? What can we teach the high schoolers? Because the high schoolers right now is going to be part of the people that vote for the next one. So what can we do about that? And you know, yeah. For sure. And I ain't saying you got to do it in 4 years. Just like I don't think your life is going to be ruined in these 4 years. There was I don't know if I still got it on my watch later on YouTube. But it was a video, but it was just talking about American history in general, and it was like American history taught what is not taught, and like how is it taught versus how is it taught in America. Like, and other places don't teach American history the same way that we teach American history, and that's the same thing. Like every state don't approach everything the same. Like you can be in it, these states is like different countries. Like for a lot of people don't realize, like it's literally like different countries. You in one place is something, in the other place is something totally different, and you know. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing there's multiple things for that, and I'm kind of for it too because the federal man, listen, the government's the closer you can get the touch the people that's over you, the better it is. And what I mean by that is we can have a lot more effect over the governor, the people on city councils, the mayors. We have a lot more impact on those people than we have ever on a president or anybody in the federal government. Like, and that's the reality. So I'd rather have the people that's making majority of decisions where I can have an impact. Because if I get, let's say, 500,000 people with me to vote on a certain subject or a certain topic matter, that can have a bigger impact in North Carolina versus 500,000 people on the federal government stage. It doesn't hit the same. Yes, it's still 500,000 people, but it's just not the same. You know what I mean? And I'm sure I will be able to make things happen a lot faster in the state versus in the national government. And that's people just gotta understand that and get more aware. Like, people just don't stand it enough. Like, they don't understand politics enough. They don't teach you about politics because if majority of people begin to understand how these things really work, you will start looking at these politicians very vastly different and understand that these people are bought and paid for, and you're gonna get them out of these positions. Because the problem with a lot of them is they're lifelong politicians, so they want to stay in power. And how do we stay in power? By continuing getting voted for and selling you a dream, but over here somebody's paying for this. Like, and that's how they stay in power, and that's how they make all this money, and so on and so forth. So, just get aware, man. Open a book. Open, But people don't understand voting. That's the issue. Like, they don't understand voting. Like we can say it's important to vote, but they don't even know what they're voting for. They say, "Oh shoot, my such and such voted for Democrats," so they just gonna. It's like, even if Democrat is the right answer in whatever maybe it's the governor race, maybe Democrat is the right answer in their governor race, but you don't even know what the governor is saying he's gonna do or what he wants to do. You just voting because somebody told me. It's like, no, get aware, understand what this means, understand what is at play with this, the good, the bad, and everything in between. Like, there's a lot to understand, and that's where I like people got to get more aware of what's going on in the world. Like, not this fake woke stuff. Like, really get like, all right, this is how this works. Oh, so they get voted on, and that's how this. So why do they got this, and this? Like, boom, 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 and understand. Okay, yeah, they doing some bullshit over here, but they doing something that could actually be pretty good over here. Your mayor might be sending contracts out to people that's out of town, and you don't even understand it. You just see people building, but that contract could have went to somebody that's local, that is going to put money back into the community and have a job in that community for a long period of time, versus the mayor giving a contract to somebody out of town. Somebody might get a job for a little bit, but then that job's gone because that same contract is going out of the city. So it's like understanding those types of things, understanding who's on your city council and what effect they have, because all of them might be in real estate. Oh, so then all of a sudden you seeing all this real estate stuff pop up. Well, they probably getting a check from it. Like, so, just understand that type of things and move in a certain way. Y'all want it, like, I was literally just talking to somebody like about UNCW getting a football team. Well, the only way UNCW gonna get a football team is the money you could come up with the money. Like, they come up with the money when they want to come up with the money. It's more importantly is getting in position to allow it to happen. because they've been trying to build that complex for like the minor league baseball team for a while. They came up with that money, but they haven't been able to do it because of politics. And it's the build things like that, politics. So you gotta boom, 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 boom. Football team comes to the city. Guess what they do? Look what it's doing in Charlotte. Now Charlotte already had things, but you adding more and more stuff. Look at where Charlotte campus was to where it is now. Look what that impact has had over. Because my oldest sister went to Charlotte. I remember what it looked like then, and I know what it looks like now. There's a vast difference in a decade. You feel me? Like, there's things that it has impacts, and look how many jobs that brought. Look how much impact that had on black people. We play a lot of sports, like, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Yeah, for sure. But Charlotte has there. If you better do your research, there's been a massive impact since Charlotte. Before Charlotte couldn't keep certain programs around, just like UNCW. Certain programs had to get cut because there was not enough money. They don't have that issue no more. Yes, for sure. Now, but dog, we can have this conversation another time to really go through it. But Charlotte is positioning itself to make real money. You're not gonna make real money in your first decade in football, most of the time. But you position yourself to where, all right, in the long run, we just talked about plans. Like, there's been plans in place because they see what the future is. They see where the money is. They see the SEC just made $51 million for just being in the SEC. They see that. So we could sit here and say, oh, Charlotte did engineering. Yes, that's a part of it. But once again, I seen Charlotte before they had a football team, and them struggling to keep certain teams on the field, to having a football team and not struggling to keep nobody on the field or track or whatever, and actually thriving in a lot of having soccer teams that are ranked. Like, I remember when I was there, they had both men's and women's soccer team was like top ranked in the country, and like having the certain facilities and stuff. Like, yes, there's donors, but they get even more. They donate even more when, boom, oh, we can invest into this. Like, what school was that? I can't think of the name at the time, but they just found like $700 million. Some schools just raised $700 million, like, to build a football facility and all of that stuff. Like, that type of money, you can talk about all the engineering in the world. $750 million like that ain't just happening. Like, and that's different. That's different. And the attendance, like, just the attendance, like, of the school, like, more applications, more people wanting to come to the school. Obviously, it happens at a higher rate when you start winning. Winning solves a lot of things. When you start winning, look at the numbers that they talking about at Colorado. Colorado doesn't have a baseball team. They already talking about, oh, we might be able to do a baseball team in a couple years. They ain't got a baseball team at Colorado. Now, because Dion came in there and started winning games and putting butts in seats, now we can go get a baseball team. Like, that's the impact that can have. And obviously they talked about the amount of black people that have started applying, and the admissions has rose. And now think about if it's an extra 10,000 every semester that wants to come to your school, and now every semester that's a new tuition, whatever the tuition is. Let's say it's 15,000. So now you got extra 15,000 with 10,000 people every single, or 1,000 people, whatever the numbers is, every single semester. That starts to add up. They talk about the numbers from Nick Saban over his career at Alabama and how much it rose and how much money he has made. He made them billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. Like, it's the long game. Like, you got to see the long game. Yet, would UNCW make money the first 10 years of them having a football team? Probably not. But 20, 30, 40? By the time we older, we 60-something years old, UNCW might be daggone, you feel me? And you look around and say, dang, boy, they did all this? I think 3 times. They wasn't in the Conference USA when they first started. They was playing FCS. They started in FCS, then they went to Conference USA, and now they went. Did they go straight to Conference USA? I can't remember what the first conference was. It might have been Conference USA, and then they're in the American now, ain't it? Yeah. And look what the impact it has on the basketball programs and stuff too. Now your basketball programs in better conferences. UNCW's in the CAA. Like, what we talking about? We talked about it for like 20 minutes. Well then, go ahead and say it, and let's go. Well, if you get off your phone and have the notes ready, thought that's once again you looking at right now. If you look over the last 10 years, what do you since Charlotte's football team has came, do you think their donations from alumni, their missions, the tickets, everything has made more money or less money than the engineering department? You tell me. You tell me. What the effects that a football team can bring to your university? Do you think that has made more money or less money than the since they than the engineering program in the same time period? And I'm willing to bet that they made more money because guess how much money they had to get donated in the first place to build a facility? Millions, millions, and millions and millions. So they're already. Yes, $1 million scholarship is not. You're not talking about the $1 million the multi millions of dollars that it takes to build facilities from the ground up. There was no stadium there. There was nothing there. There was literally nothing there. A motor store facility compared to a football. You need to go look up the numbers for real, for real. Yes, the equipment and stuff. Yes, it costs money, but it also costs money to run all of the stuff. Like, bro, I'm not saying the NASCAR stuff ain't got money, but I'm telling you right now that I promise you, a football program, building that from the ground up costs more money than that. And the amount of money that has to get donated and put into something like that is vastly more. And then the amount of money that comes from it, for sure. Man, hey, we can talk about it all. I literally did studies on this, like, for sure. That's it, man. You ain't got nothing else to say. You weren't prepared today, it seemed like, man. What you mean? I was letting you rock. We about to end today, but I was letting you rock because you wanted to talk about all the stuff. So I said, let me let him rock. I was letting you rock, but and if I don't let you rock, then you're gonna be saying I yap too much. You just said you forgot. You supposed to have the notes. It's not. It should. You supposed to have the notes like me. You supposed to have the notes like me. No, that's called being a professional. We go from we keep the conversation going. What you talking about? We keep the conversation going. But you ain't know the subject anyway. What was it? What is it? Hear what I'm talking about? You said you forgot it. Now you can't get to it, man. Stop it, man. So you ain't got nothing to talk about. Let them do it. That's what I said. I didn't. That's not what I said about. So see, this is the problem with black people. This is the problem. Well, I talk to my black people. I don't talk to white people like this because they can do whatever they want. That's their business. I'm talking to black people because we gotta do better. We gotta stop listening to what part of what somebody says and listen to the whole thing. Let's not try to take down somebody for having a conversation. Instead of having a real conversation, sitting down and listening to what they say from start to finish. You can't just take pieces, man. You can't take pieces. That ain't a good way to conversate. Waiting on you, man. Waiting on you. What we doing, dude? Let's go then. Wrap it up. You talked all day? What did you talk? I talked about this stuff. What are you talking about? Don't worry about it, man. Hey, man, we up out of here, man. It was episode 8 of Outside the Post, man. I appreciate all of y'all, man. If you got any enjoyment out of this video, man, leave a like down below. Comment who talked more. Who gave you more this episode? Not just talk. Who gave you more? Who poured into you more this episode? And subscribe to the channel, man. It's always appreciated, man. It's your boy Keevin, man, and Mr. Smith over there. And we gonna see y'all next time, man. We up out of here. Happy Black History Month. Let's go.